This is Matti McLean with transforMATTIve, and this is Bella Naso with her second rehearsal.
Hello.
Hello. Uh, so your monologue is Ghostered.
Yes.
How has the process been for you so far with this rehearsal process?
It's been really fun. I think the first time I looked at it, I was um looking at it from a different point of view, like, oh, she can't really help it or whatever. But now I'm kind of just having more fun with it. And I'm like, no, I think she's just a little character. So it's been a fun little development.
I think it's a monologue that gives you a lot of fun. It gives you a lot of permission to be not necessarily a character that in real life wouldn't be likable, but in the world
Right.
of theater is the best character because you can have so much fun with it. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what you've done with it. And whenever you're ready, feel free to just take a moment, get in the space, and then dive right in.
Okay. I'm sorry I won't be able to make it out tonight. I promised I'd be there, but there's this really important date that I have to make sure I'm avoiding. See, he wants to meet at 7, so if I'm anywhere nearby around that time, he's gonna know I don't want to see him, and I don't want to let that happen. Can we reschedule? I have some time next week. Yeah, there's not too much going on. I just have someone who wants to go to a concert that I have to skip so I don't have to go to dinner with my sister. And then the only other thing is that I have to, call out sick for work so I don't have to go to the work gathering after because come on, is there anything worse than team building exercises? That reminds me, work is getting so awkward now. There's this guy, my boss, and he keeps insisting that he wants to get with me. So I have to make sure I'm not there much longer. It's getting creepy. He keeps asking me to go into his office to talk about our future together, which sounds like it would be related to my job performance, but I don't want to take that kind of risk. Why are you giving me that face? This is not my fault. I am kept very busy these days. Do you know how many shows there are on Netflix? I mean, I just pirate everything, but the point still stands. And big streaming wants me to sign up for monthly subscriptions, and I am just not ready for that level of commitment. I just want some time, okay, to figure things out. And I do that best when I'm by myself. But, you know, I'm young and beautiful and a people pleaser. So when people ask me to do something, I feel compelled to say yes. Then when I have a moment to think about it, well, I become very good at avoiding these sort of obligations. It's just easier to avoid these sort of things.
Very nicely done. You have a really fun character happening now. I can tell that you've done some really heavy work on this, which is great.
Yeah.
Uh, you're still going a little fast, so don't be
Okay.
afraid to really sit in parts where you're just like, she can be contemplative a bit more. She can be a little bit more torn at times, where it's just you know you're not going to make it, but you really want to seem like you're tempted, and maybe she
Okay.
is. Maybe she is. She doesn't have to be. She can be
Yeah.
flaky. She can be silly. She can just be. She can be whatever. She's beautiful. She's fun. She wants to be in demand, and
Right.
scarcity. Scarcity drives everything. So no, that's it's a lot of fun. I can tell that you're having a lot of fun with it,
Yeah.
and uh, there's one part that I
Mm-hmm.
think you can really sink into, and that's the first half of the monologues, which is like, I don't want to take that risk. And then there's that turn. You can kind of give it a bit more of a beat where you acknowledge or recognize, just like, okay, why are you giving me that face? You can go full Alexis Rose and just be like,
Bye. Okay.
David, you, David. There's a lot of places you can play with that for sure.
Okay.
Just to help differentiate the second half of the monologue from the first half.
Love it. So I'm running it.
Um, exactly. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling really good. I like that note to break it up a little bit more. Um, Yeah, I definitely could totally take my time more with it and really like think about it more. Like the thoughts are coming. So I think that's how she works too. Like the cycle of her brain just keeps like a new thought, like it's happening in the moment. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel really good though. I really like it. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's definitely a lot of fun. You have a good handle on it. I can tell that it's percolating now in a really fun way, and I can see that you're enjoying it. So
Yes.
that's the most important part. If you're having fun, the audience is having fun, and they're gonna have fun with this one for sure.
Okay, good. Question, do you think
Yes.
the end, like the button beat kind of moment, do you think that's more of like a silly thing, like a it's a whole funny, or do you think she's like it's just easier to avoid, like a little more drama?
I feel like it can go either way.
Right,
Your
that's what I
choices
thought.
in that moment are you can play it off and be like, oh, it's just easier. So she's trying to like wipe her mind clear again.
Right.
Or the alternative that might be a more interesting thing is just like the guilt kind of kicks in at that moment. So it could
Right.
be that moment of be like, I've become very good at avoiding these sorts of obligations. It it's just easier to avoid these things.
Yeah. Oh,
And
little humanity.
yeah, it's that little bit of not chaos, but that little bit where we kind of kick in and be like, oh, there is something here that's human. There is something here that's weighing on her. And one of those ticking time clock things where you can only do this kind of lifestyle for so long before it catches up to you.
Right. Okay.
Uh no, I think that would add like this really beautiful layer of humanity to it. I think you could definitely have a lot of fun with it.
I agree.
Um yeah, just taking your time at the beginning. Don't be
Hmm.
afraid to you don't need to rush through it. There's the audience will wait for you and you want to give them opportunities to laugh. And
Okay.
sometimes the best way you can make someone laugh is just by da 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 da. I there oh, but yes.
Yeah.
Also that like there's places you can there's ways you can play with it that will really hold the suspense, so to speak. So don't be afraid to really milk it when you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question, another quick question.
Mhm.
You would say this is a standing monologue, correct?
Yes.
Or, yeah, I don't know.
Did you want to sit for it? Do you think that would bring something out of the character?
No. No, I think she's kind of all over the place, but I think that also helped me is when I did it the first time I was sitting. And then when I've been practicing, like I've been like standing more with it. Um, but I realized we never actually like talked about it if that was a like a vision that you had.
Norm in most cases on stage, standing does tend to read better just
Yeah.
because there's a specific kind of energy that's required when you're standing. Because when
Yeah.
you're standing, every part of your body is activated. When you're
Right.
sitting, especially your core, which is where a lot of your energy comes from on stage, a lot of that sinks down. So you have a little bit, it's more introspective, it's more uh it's can be less dynamic. There are
Hmm.
some monologues where you really want to have that heaviness and that feeling of
Yeah.
pressure on you, but even just standing adds a certain level because every part of your body is engaged in some way. You have to figure out what do my feet do, what do my hands do, in a way that when you're sitting, there's a natural sitting structure that you just kind of fall into. But
Right.
there are no wrong answers. Sometimes you have both, sometimes you have neither. It's just how it feels and how the monologue breathes through you. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
but no, really great work. It
Thank
was a lot
you.
of fun. I think that you
Excited.
have,
Yeah.
sorry?
I said I'm super excited.
Oh, no, I'm very excited to see. This is a lot of fun. I think that you're going to do a really great job of it.
Thank you.
Are there any concerns or questions that you're having with the monologue at this point? You seem to have a really good handle on it. You have a good handle of the character, and yeah, it seems like it's going to be fun. So,
Yeah, I think anything I was like hesitant on, you answered within the notes. So I feel really good.
all right. I feel good. I think that you've come a long way, which is great. You were good before, now you're great, and on stage you'll be even better. The crowd energy just always adds everything else, which
Of
is
course. Yeah.
the most fun part. Thank you so much. I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to see you on Friday.
Yeah, super excited.